3, 2, 1, bang.
Hello, my name is Kudo. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be reacting to Matt Walsh, his video AvatR film flops following racism accusations. I know I'm about 4 weeks late, but I watched it again for the second time yesterday, and I was like, let me go ahead and just react to like someone who doesn't like the movie, you know, because I love the movie and I want to try to get outside my echo chamber and just maybe listen to the other sides without no hard feelings, you know, try to understand their point of view, see if maybe I agree or disagree, you know. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all.
The AvatR sequel, AvatR 2, The Way of Water, was released this past weekend, 13 years after the original came out, 12 and a half years after everyone forgot that the original ever existed. There was a brief moment in time when millions of people were somehow duped into believing that Avatar was a good film, but the fever broke rather suddenly, and most of those who had fallen under its spell quickly realized the whole thing was just Fern Gully as reimagined by the Blue Man Group. Not exactly a plot twist, therefore, to tell you that the sequel fizzled at the box office on its first weekend of release. It fizzled with $134 million over the weekend, to be precise, which seems like a lot of money to qualify as a flop until you realize that they spent $1 billion making this thing and poured hundreds of millions into marketing, so that anything less than a historic box office haul would be a disappointment.
Okay, let's go see how much they've made now. See what their box office is today. Well, the Avatar sequel hits great $2 billion in box office this weekend. Movie history will be made this weekend as Avatar: The Way of Water does what most said was impossible. The sequel will hit $2 billion at the box office, likely sometime on Friday or Saturday. And this is Forbes.com. Word got around that, oh, the movie's actually really great.
And in this case, the movie fell under even the most modest projections.
It's over now.
I, for one, am quite pleased with this result. I like it when bad movies perform poorly, and this is a bad movie. It may have impressive special effects, but then there really isn't anything that is actually impressive about special effects anymore. I'll never understand people of dialogue, because he believes that the entire thing is a work of staggering genius, even though it's literally just Pocahontas, but not as good. On top of that, Cameron happens to be one of the wokest directors currently working in Hollywood. Avatar is, of course, an environmentalism allegory about the perils of colonialism. It's not my interpretation. That's what he says it is. And if the wokeness wasn't clear enough, Cameron's been out on the trail promoting the film by ranting against the evils of testosterone, as we covered in a recent Daily Cancellation. He claimed that testosterone is a poison that must be purged from the bloodstream. And then on Friday, in an interview with Variety, he bragged that Avatar is setting a new standard for female empowerment because it features a pregnant female warrior. So in the Daily Wire, it says, director James Cameron said in a recent interview that his upcoming movie, Avatar: The Way of Water, is the most empowering movie for women because one of the characters is a pregnant warrior. The movie, which debuted in theaters across the U.S. on Friday, continues where the first movie left off. And in this film, one of the main characters, Neytiri, is pregnant. Cameron made the remarks about Neytiri during an interview with Variety when he was asked why it was important to have Neytiri and another character be pregnant in the movie. He said, quote, "Everybody's always talking about female empowerment, but what is such a big part of a woman's life that we as men don't experience? And I thought, well, if you're really going to go all the way down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, let's have a female warrior who's 6 months pregnant in battle. I thought, let's take the real boundaries off. To me, it was the last bastion that you don't see. Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, all these other amazing women come up, but they're not moms and they're not pregnant while they're fighting evil." Yes, he's gone down the rabbit hole of female empowerment. But is this really all the way down the rabbit hole? What about a pregnant female in a wheelchair in battle? How about a pregnant, blind trans woman with one leg, epilepsy, and a diagnosed anxiety disorder in battle? Now, it's not clear how any of this actually would be empowering. In fact, it's not clear how the exploits of a fictional character in a CGI universe could ever empower anyone, regardless, pregnant or not. But this is what empowerment has become. For the record, even if this is a fictional universe, There is actually nothing empowering about sending pregnant women off to fight battles. A truly empowered pregnant woman is going to prioritize protecting her unborn child and therefore is not going to put herself in a situation where both she and the child are very likely to be hurt.
As a woman, Matt Walsh, as much as I like watching your content sometimes, I don't agree all the time, but for the most part, you're pretty funny to watch and entertaining and whatnot, and you have some good points. But in this video, one of your good points was not in it because I don't know anything more empowering than being a woman, especially a woman who's pregnant. I don't know what's more empowering than that. And then not only that, making her a warrior to fight for her home, to fight for her family. If she were to not fight for what she believed in, what is the point of living? A woman who's pregnant will fight to the death with her family because if her family dies, she has nothing. You're always talking about like a nuclear family and whatnot, you know? This is a nuclear family fighting to be together, to fight for their family. I don't understand. Maybe because we live in the 21st century, so it's, you know, not that serious. But in this scenario, these fictional characters in this fictional world, that's just how their bond is. I don't know why we're getting so worked up over some fictional characters. It's a great movie. If you gave it a chance, I'm sure you'd probably find some joy in it. Sometimes it's okay to not be a stick in the mud, you know, and just enjoy something. But I don't know, it seems like you have some personal vendetta towards this James Cameron guy that I'm ignorant of. So maybe that's what the issue is. I'm just ignorant and I don't understand what the true problem is. You're just saying it's one thing, but really it could be something else. And that's understandable, you know. I don't know who this James Cameron dude is. Really don't, not that I don't care, but like, the movie was great. So I feel like that's all we really need to know.
But this is the Hollywood idea of empowerment. The empowered person is the person who acts like anything other than what they are. The person who rejects their fundamental duties and responsibilities. The empowered woman is then the woman who acts like a man, while the empowered man is the man who acts like a woman. This is the empowerment they sell us, which is empowerment turned on its head. It's the opposite of empowerment, which is the essence of wokeness. Everything is the opposite of what it ought to be.
Okay, I think I know what he's talking about. Okay, it's kind of a spoiler, not really, but in the movie, Jake Sully was trying to get an ATD, I think her name is, I'm not really sure, to like leave the their forest and go to the Water Kingdom or whatever, basically to protect the family. And you know, ATD was like, no, my father wanted us to protect the forest people. You know, he gave me his bow, whatever. And she was like really emotional. He was like, but he was haunting us. Like, he had our kid, you know, under his knife. And then when he said that, like, she was like, okay, I'll listen to my Jake, you know, I'll listen to my husband. Like, what a good wife would do? I'm kind of confused. I don't understand. Like, I guess she's just supposed to be his slave and just listen to every word he says with no rebuttal. I guess women, that's all we're good for. I don't know. Women, you're just supposed to listen to your man and just not have any feelings, I guess. I don't know.
AvatR faces calls for boycott over accusations of racism. She followed up with a thread listing sci-fi films made by indigenous people. So that's right.
Okay. My family's indigenous. I just feel some type of way because AvatR was highly influenced off of African tribes, not really Native American tribes. So it's like, where are these African tribes that these AvatR people were based off of? Why aren't they getting mad? I mean, they probably don't even know about the movie because I think they were like, not a third world, but like a tribe that doesn't really rely on technology the way we do. So I don't even think they know about this movie. I could be wrong. If he's using these Native Americans as a reason to not support the movie, it'd be really disappointing because it's such a weak argument. But I know Matt Walsh. I don't know him personally, but watching his other videos, I don't think he would support them for thinking this way. I could be wrong.
AvatR commits appropriation. They do have a point. I mean, after all, James Cameron, he does cast mostly white actors to portray people of color in the film.
Yes, he do.
Now, it's true, the color of the people in this case is blue, and they're not even people, but that's irrelevant. He could have at least, here's all I'm saying, he could have made the effort to try to travel to another solar system and find actual blue aliens to fill these roles. He could have tried.
Oh, okay, he's being
Didn't even try. Instead, he just took the easy way out, put actors in blue face instead. Now, the criticism here is obviously ridiculous.
Okay.
What's more, they're attacking James Cameron for somehow negating or minimizing the struggles of, quote, indigenous people, when the entire movie is one long, overly simplistic, childish retelling of the settlement of the New World, wherein white man bad, native people good. This is exactly the version of history that these activists want us to accept. They demand that we accept it. And James Cameron has spent billions of dollars creating not one, but two pieces of overwrought propaganda to deliver just that message. And they're still mad. That's how it works. Of course, the game is rigged, especially if you're a white man. The woke are never satisfied. Whatever you do, it will not be enough. Whatever you do, you should have done something else. The woke are never happy. They make demands that cannot be satisfied. That's because they don't want to be satisfied. They just want the demands. They don't want the satisfaction of those demands. They want the demands. Trying to please them, then, is a fool's errand. And James Cameron is just that sort of fool, which is why he is canceled for, I think, like the second time in a week. And that'll do it for this portion of the show as we move over to the members block.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Matt Walsh. Okay. I knew he wouldn't be with that whole reasoning. It was just ridiculous, as he said, quote unquote ridiculous. So I'm glad that I knew. I was like, I know he petty, but I know he won't be this petty. Okay, sure enough, he's not. All right. But even though I disagree with Matt Walsh, I'm sorry. I do like that he is honest and speaks his truth. You know, he doesn't care. So yeah, as a woman, please don't speak for women. That's really my only complaint with this video. The movie was great. And if you don't like blue people swinging around from trees and fighting on dragons, then this movie's not for you, and that's fine. I mean, I sleep fine at night knowing people don't like the movie. It's just, don't talk trash on the movie and you never watched it. And the freaking Pocahontas, the original story was way worse. Like, they tried to make true events that was actually quite tragic of a real princess, a Pocahontas, and make it into a love story. The real events of Pocahontas was just horrible. Same with Mulan. But anyways, Disney, they be doing that. Same with like Pinocchio. It's dark. It's all like dark origins, you know. Peter Pan. Everything with Disney. Okay, anything with Disney is pretty much dark. That's all you need to know. But Avatar was great. Give a chance. Don't let people think for you. That's my main message. Just think for yourself. Watch the movie and see if you like it. You might actually like it. I mean, you don't have to freaking follow later, you know. Matt Walsh, watch it. You might like it. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Rub your beard a few times, you know. You might change your mind. I don't know. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, great night, great year, whatever. I will see you all next time. Peace and love.